we have to work so hard. We're expected to be like super perfect, and if we make mistakes, like, it's highlighted, and we often receive harsher penalty. Like, I'm pretty sure every black woman herself or knows another black woman who has experienced like workplace bullying or has been in a situation or confrontation in the workplace where they want to stick up for themselves, but they know that if they do that, their justified frustration and anger will be perceived as them just being, unnecessary, having an attitude, or being an angry black woman. In so many ways, black women are gaslighted, we're expected to underperform, all of this. Colorism, desirability, gender identity, so whether you're trans or cis, also queerness, all of that can influence your experience as a black woman in the workplace. Try your hardest not to worry about what other people are doing, right? Them, being discriminative, them being prejudiced. There are ways in which we can use workplace processes, even those processes in itself can disadvantage us. So it's a really complicated thing, but I think I would just say that, black women, we need to start prioritizing ourselves. And this is why a lot of people are starting their own businesses and companies, because they're fed up of, the dynamics that they have to go through in order to just, live their dream.
Yes, I do think that black women have and do work harder in the workplace, especially to be seen, because black women have been under the radar for the longest time, and not for the want of being that way, it's just where we've been placed. We're often overlooked, undervalued and underappreciated. I know that in my own experience, I've very rarely been heard. I've been in the entertainment industry and it's been a struggle, especially when I lived in countries like Australia. It was really, really hard to be seen. Music industry in the UK is guilty of not having black female representation in the music industry. Why is that, and why is that still happening? And it just shows that we are completely and utterly overlooked. We have to work harder, we have to push forward, we have to be seen as for everyone, to be palatable for everyone, and that doesn't really make sense. It's because you are who you are at the end of the day, and if you're good at your job, then why are we not being pushed forward? Why are we not being propelled? Why are we not being shown in the workforce as being somebody that comes up with great ideas, good work, and is a hard worker? I've never heard of a black woman that doesn't work hard. Like, we work very, very hard. I know that I work very, very hard, and I have been overlooked many times. I have dealt with workplace bullying, segregation, racism, many times. Most of the working environments that I've been in, I've had to deal with something or another, and it's exhausting.
It's not that I feel necessarily disrespected in the workplace, but you can sort of like, when cliques are forming and things are happening, you can sort of like feel the vibe, do you know what I mean? Like, you kind of need to be a bit more extra to make the effort with people, to show that, you are open, whereas like they automatically blend. It depends what workplace it is, but I've had workplaces where I feel like I need to make the extra effort, otherwise like it's just going to be me, myself and I, which is not a very nice feeling. Obviously changing hairstyles, you go into the workplace and like people do the whole dramatic thing, like, oh my gosh, like what have you done, the touching this and that. Like, it's another thing when I look back and I think back at it, because you're so young, you don't realise. I just feel like, why did I accept that? Do you know what I mean? Because I never really used to react. I used to just be like, oh yeah, like, but now it literally makes me so mad to think like, why did I accept that kind of treatment? Like, it's not okay to do that. In a sense, I did start to sort of like dim my light, if you can put it that way. If I got a new hairstyle, I didn't want to make a big fuss of it. I'd like try and like, keep it low key, or just like go about my business so that people wouldn't make such a big fuss about it, because it's like the attention's a bit weird, because you don't really know if like they're mocking you or they actually like it. Advice and like showing confidence, I'd say like be yourself, like rock your braids, like put your lip gloss on and just stay popping. Like, if anything, it's the confidence that makes us like literally don't shy away. It's like, you just need to walk in there and own the place, you know what I mean? Like, just know yourself and just know that, you know what, I look good. Like, it's literally all about your confidence, and you really do be looking good. It's just that people just want to play too much.
Being a black woman at work, it's hard because you're a woman and you're black. Most people are like, oh, it's you overthinking, oh, you know, it's nothing. But it's all of those little niggles that people do, all of the little things, those little conscious, unconscious biases, whatever they want to say it is. It's all those little things that are a build-up. So being a black woman is a struggle because you are representing, and I'm sure a lot of black women can relate to me saying that, you are representing for everyone. Being a black woman in an office, I can't afford to slip up the same, because it's never going to be forgotten. I feel like you have to work not 10 times but 50 times harder. I feel like you have to work harder than every other minority. You always have to work a little bit harder, not to lag, not to be behind, and not to be stagnant in your career. I think they're happy to just, once they've got you in, okay, you've ticked the box, we'll just leave you there and push you to the side. You have to really push and be very focused on being everything you can be and not. You have to push for yourself. So yeah, you have to push harder, you have to fight a little bit harder. And often, yeah, I think you can be undermined, and people question you, and it really is frustrating when you know you've got that role, you've got that job down to merit, you've got the knowledge, you've got the experience, you've got the specialism, you've got the qualifications. However, somebody of a different race or a different gender can question you, and they wouldn't question your white counterpart or even your Asian counterpart, but they do it to you because you're a black and you're a woman.
I personally feel like black women have to work way harder than a lot of people. There's so many stereotypes on black women, so we always have to just try and push ourselves to try and knock down the stereotypes that people have against us. There are so many that you can't even begin to list them. So yeah, I feel like we definitely have to work harder, because we have to break that stereotype that have been enforced on us. I most definitely have felt times as a black woman that I felt disrespected relating to modeling. When I'm on shoots and we have makeup artists, most of the time they don't know how to do makeup for dark-skinned women. They don't have to make up for black girls in general. The makeup artist will put a lighter shade on my skin, or will basically tell me you don't need foundation, you don't need this. But it's not because I don't need it, when sometimes I may. It's just because they don't have it.
I would say from personal experience, I haven't thankfully been impacted firsthand by direct racism or colorism in my profession. I think because the companies that I've worked for previously have been very diverse, but I am aware of other companies and situations that have occurred that the black lady or the black woman in the company are not given, you know, their flowers, so to speak, or the credit that is due, based on the fact that they are a black woman. So I do believe in the concept that you have to work twice as hard to get half as much sometimes, and I do just hope that diversity and equality is, you know, really a main focus moving forward, because everybody is as worthy and as equal as each other, and I feel as though black women should be given their credit and their flowers for the work that they do. My advice to black women in the workplace is to just be yourself, be your natural self, continue to work hard, be who you are, and the opportunities that are for you will not pass you by. If you are in a company that you have to water down your personality or water down who you are, or change your identity almost to fit in with the framework of the company, then it's probably not the company for you. As much as sometimes it can feel like, you know, you need this job, you've got bills to pay, there's always a greater plan. I feel like God has a greater plan for everybody. So whatever your talents are, don't be afraid to leave the table if the table is not serving you, because if you're bringing enough to the table, then the company you work for or the workplace should be crediting you as such. So I would say be yourself, continue to work hard, and don't be afraid to speak out when necessary. All will be well.
I wouldn't say that black women are yet equal in the workplace. I would say that they have to work harder to be seen or even heard in the workplace. And not only that, but they're battling with stereotypes and discrimination in the workplace from people who may not understand black people, or from people who think they do and they really don't. I wouldn't say that I personally felt undermined or disrespected in the workplace, but I would say that I felt overlooked, and that decisions have been made without me in mind. They have not considered me, and if I haven't, even if I haven't been considered, I haven't been spoken to about the decisions being made. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing to code shift for corporate settings. First off, because sometimes there is no other way that we are going to be put in the position, but also because we don't know any better. And I think it's more about this, like, the standard of person needing to change rather than us needing to change. That's a definite. But I think if we need to sometimes do something different, say in an interview, for example, or sometimes in the office, if we just need to make minor tweaks, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, because it's just something we're gonna have to do. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. And this is why a lot of the time, like, the black people in the workplace will come together and they'll be so close, because they have someone there who understands what they're going through. As advice to a black person or black women in the workplace, I would say keep doing you, keep being bold, keep being intelligent, and don't let people take your shine. Just keep doing you. You're not there by luck. You worked hard enough to be in that position, so just keep doing you and don't worry about what other people are gonna have to say. And if you have to stand up for your rights, or if you have to stand up for yourself in the workplace, then so be it, because you should be considered and you're important in that place too.